Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel Unfog with Dr. Atahar Parveen. We were getting many requests to make class on SI units based on new syllabus of Karnataka TET. Of course, this is also going to help all other aspirants who are preparing for teacher recruitment exams like KVS, NVS, of course HSTR, CRIS, GPSTR, all TGTs, PGTs, okay, because this is a very general topic and it is always the first topic of physics, right? Now, being from the field of physics, it is my responsibility to give you right information. If I just give you list of SI units just like that and keep reading it, it will not help you because it will not be possible for you to do the rote learning or just by heart it, because SI units are the ones which have to be understood, then only you will be able to remember it. In fact, physics is like that. If you try to sit and by heart, you will not learn anything from physics. You have to understand all the concepts from physics, then only it will be possible for you to learn everything. Okay, so that's why maybe you will be knowing about this. All the classes which we always post in our YouTube channel, free classes or paid classes, we never take any class based on rote learning, just reading out and all that. We don't encourage it at all. We always try to clear the concept, then only we ask aspirants to solve the questions. Okay, in fact, our classes are also based on the same pattern every time. First we explain the concept, then we go for the multiple choice questions or the list of formulae or whatever it is. Okay. Now, this topic has become very important for us because see this question from Karnataka TET. This was a first physics question actually. Okay. From 121 till 150, we have questions, 30 questions from science in Karnataka TET, right? So like that only 30 questions are for maths, 30 questions are for language 1 and 30 questions for language 2 and 30 questions for CDP. So total we have 150 questions in Karnataka TET. Now in this 30 questions we can expect 7 to 8 or maybe 9 questions also from physics. So this was the very first question in Karnataka TET, which must have really troubled aspirant, because I must say this was a tough question. This one question only will give us so much story that we can take class for whole 1 hour with just this one question only. But we don't have so much time and it is not needed also. So that's why I will just complete the story of flux here, and then I have planned to give you list of SI units, but I will just not read it out. I will explain you why that unit is there for that particular physical quantity, and we can do it only by relating to the formula of that physical quantity. I will give you example here with this question, so you will understand the way how I am going to discuss. So if you are really a serious aspirant and if you are seriously preparing for this exam of a TET, then you should be watching this video till the end without skipping it, and please share it also, because there are many aspirants who are preparing for the exam but they don't know the right way to prepare. Okay, so that's why on this note let us start discussing what is this flux first. See, you can call this flux to any term actually. You can say it as water flux also. You can say it as air flux also, but depending upon the situation. Okay. Now if I say that some water is flowing through a pipe, then I can call it as water flux, right? If air is flowing through the window and if I want to find out how much air is flowing through that window, then I will tell you to find out the air flux, right? How much water is flowing through the pipe is water flux. How much air is flowing through the window is air flux. In the same manner, we can have electric flux also. We can have magnetic flux also. So basically, if I talk about electric flux, it is actually how much electric field is flowing through that area. How much electric field is flowing through that area. Or I can also call it as a surface when I talk about electric field lines. How many electric field lines are passing through that surface is electric flux. Like that only if I talk about magnetic flux, how much magnetic field is there in that particular area, or how many magnetic lines are passing through that particular surface is known as magnetic flux. Okay, so if you understand this story, then only you'll be able to give the SI unit of flux, either it is electric flux or magnetic flux. Okay, so with this definition, what will be the formula for electric flux now? First of all, what is the symbol for electric flux? It is phi. And because I am telling that how much electric field is there in that particular area, what is the mathematical operation should be done here? I should multiply, right? I should multiply how much electric field is there in that particular area. Correct, right? So my electric flux will be equal to electric field into area. So my electric flux is equal to, I need to know what is electric field formula and what is area formula. What is electric field? Electric field, it will have two definitions basically. One will be that the force experienced per unit charge. For that I will write F upon Q. Right? Or I can also say it as voltage per unit distance, right? So I will call it as voltage by M. Distance means unit is meter, right? So for force upon Q, what will be the unit? Force unit is Newton and Q is charge. Unit will be Coulomb, or I have V upon M. Voltage unit is V only, volts, and for meter we have M only, right? So I have voltage per meter in electric field. Why did I not choose Newton per Coulomb? Because I have seen the options where only V and M are there. So that's why I am choosing voltage per meter. What about area? Area is meter square, right? Correct, right? So into meter square. So this meter will get cancelled and my flux, electric flux unit will be voltage meter. Option 1 will be the correct answer here. So explaining and discussing takes little time, but if you know the formula of electric flux, which is equal to electric field into area, within no time, without using pen and a paper, you can give the correct answer here. Right? So this is the way you should understand how to find out the SI unit of electric flux. You cannot just mug up or by heart SI units. Clear, right? Now after electric flux, you may ask me, madam, what about magnetic flux? See, magnetic flux is phi B. Now it will become very easy for us to understand because same procedure we have to apply here also. So magnetic lines of force per passing through that surface area or magnetic field in that particular area. So B into A, magnetic field into area, right? So what is the unit for magnetic field? Tesla, right? And what about area? Meter square, right? So what will be the magnetic flux? Tesla meter square. But there is another name for this. We call it as Weber. So in the options they may ask Weber also, they may ask Tesla meter square also to just confuse you. You should be knowing the correct answer and you can know it only by knowing the formula. So basically the main thing which I want to tell you is if you want to know SI unit of a derived physical quantity. I am not talking about length, mass and all that are direct physical quantities, right? They are 7 physical quantities are there which you don't need to derive. They don't have any formula, direct are there. Standard physical quantities. I will tell about that also. But if you talk about derived physical quantities, then you should be knowing the formula of that physical quantity to know the SI unit. So this is very, very important. Okay, clear, right? Now I will discuss about the SI units. See, these are the 7 physical quantities which I was talking about. You don't need to know the formula. In fact, there is no formula also. Just they are the direct physical quantities: length, mass, time, electric current, temperature, amount of substance, and luminous intensity. Basically, length means it is the basic distance of measurement. Mass is also the fundamental unit of matter. Basically, these are fundamental fundamental physical quantities, you can say, or fundamental units, you can say. Okay, because you don't need to have any formula. After this, we will discuss the derived ones which will have formula, and you can find out the SI unit with the formula only. Okay. Then coming back to our physical quantity, time. SI unit is seconds. It is base unit of time. What was for length? Meter. Mass? Kilogram. Electric current? Ampere. That is charge flow per second. Temperature? Kelvin. Amount of substance? Mole. Luminous intensity? Candela. Okay, so these are the direct SI units which you have to remember. It's not about deriving. Okay. Now see, these are the ones which I was telling are the derived ones. You need to know the formula. Let's start with first one. We have force. Direct SI unit is there, Newton. But what to do? They will not ask the direct SI unit in the options, means then you should be knowing that force is equal to mass into acceleration. Mass is kg and acceleration is meter per second square. So with this, you should be knowing that Newton is also equal to kg meter per second square. Okay. Then we have work and energy. They both have same SI unit, which is joule. But if you want to go for elaborated one with the formula, we have work is equal to force into distance, and the force unit is Newton and distance unit is meter. Then we have power, which is watt. But the other formula is work done per time. So you have joule per second. Pressure, Pascal. But the definition of pressure is force upon area. So you will also have Newton per meter square. So Pascal is equal to Newton per meter square. Watt is equal to joule per second. Joule is equal to Newton meter. Newton is equal to kg meter per second square. Okay. Pressure is equal to force upon area. Now this force and area are related to pressure. How? You have to divide. Then only you will be able to find out the unit Newton per meter square. Like that we have for momentum kg meter per second, because momentum is equal to mass into velocity. Mass means unit will be kg. Velocity means unit will be meter per second. Right? Then we have impulse. Newton into second means force into time. Density kg per meter cube. How you got it? Because density rho is equal to mass upon volume. Mass is kg, volume is meter cube. Right? So that is our density. Acceleration meter per second square, because we know that acceleration is equal to velocity upon time. Velocity is meter per second, time is second. So this will give us meter per second square. Right? So that's why unit of acceleration is meter per second square. Frequency, hertz. It is per second, cycles per second. So hertz is nothing but 1 by S. Then we have surface tension. Newton per meter, because surface tension is equal to force per length. So Newton per meter. Viscosity, Pascal into second, because we talk about flow resistance here. Specific heat capacity, joule per kg Kelvin. Heat capacity, joule per Kelvin. For specific heat capacity and heat capacity, the difference is the mass. In specific heat capacity, you have mass, and in heat capacity, you don't have mass. When you talk about the formula, we just talk about the temperature. It is heat per mass temperature, mass per temperature. This is heat per temperature. Okay. Energy density, joule per meter cube. Basically, it is energy per volume. So energy is joule, volume is meter cube. Clear, right? So this is how you should make the list, and this is how you should understand how to find out the SI unit, because you cannot by heart. You only just think for a while. Can you by heart that force SI unit is going to be kg meter per second square? No, right? But you can easily remember the formula. Force is equal to mass into acceleration. Right? With that you can derive the SI unit. Okay? I have few more physical quantities related to electric current and magnetic field. Okay. So electric charge, directly you have Coulomb. But this is actually because charge is equal to current into time. So if I want to find out another unit, what I will do now? So for current I have amperes and time is seconds. Right? So basically 1 Coulomb is equal to 1 ampere into second. That is also 1 unit, right? Like that only for voltage. You can take it as a homework also. For work and charge, work upon charge, what will be the unit for volt? That you should tell me now. Okay. Then for resistance we have ohm, which is V is equal to IR. Actually V is equal to current is ampere and resistance is ohm. Right, like this. Okay. Then we have conductance. It is opposite of resistance. So you have 1 upon ohm. We also call it as Siemens, or we also call it as mho, because this is ohm, right? So for conductance we write ulta. Okay. Then capacitance, you have farad. It is charge upon voltage. Electric field, volt per meter or Newton per Coulomb. This is, as I already told you, electric flux, so I explained you. You have electric flux density. This is also known as Gauss law. Then you have magnetic flux. I told you about this, right? In magnetic flux, field into area. So Tesla meter square. And magnetic field or flux density, it will be Weber per meter square. Pole strength, it will be ampere into meter. Magnetic dipole moment, it will be ampere into meter square, because magnetic dipole moment is equal to current into area. For inductance, you can just remember a direct unit also, Henry it is. And this time I am expecting for permeability and permittivity, these are constants, magnetic constant and electric constant. So you need to know the units. It is Weber per ampere into meter, which is permeability, and for permittivity we have Coulomb square per Newton meter square. Okay, so I am expecting these two this time. Anyone they may ask. Okay. Now talking about some unique physical quantities, you can say entropy. Entropy means actually it is a measure of disorder. So unit is joule per Kelvin. You have universal gas constant. It is joule per mole Kelvin. You have Stephan constant. It is Weber per meter square into Kelvin to the power 4. Thermal conductivity, you have Weber per meter Kelvin. Latent heat, you have joule per kg. Then we also have a few more physical quantities like Planck's constant, gravitational constant. See, for Planck's constant, unit will be joule second. It comes in quantum physics. And for gravitational constant, unit will be Newton meter square per kg square. Of course, in optics, though, it will be power of lens diopter, which will be 1 upon focal length. And if they ask about astronomical distance, it is per second. It is actually distance unit. But then there was another question number 125. They asked about solar constant. They have asked the value of this solar constant. So just learning SI unit is not enough for us. You should also know the values of constants. So I'll give you the list of values of these constants. Let's first talk about the solar constant question. So this is the question. The value of solar constant is estimated approximately. Means whatever the value is there in the options, the correct answer is not the exact value. It is the estimated value. Okay. So remembering estimated value is very much easier than remembering the exact value. Okay, so actually what is solar constant means? It is energy from the sun, solar energy, you can say energy from sun, which is falling on 1 meter square area in 1 second. Okay, so every second upon 1 meter square area, how much solar energy is there? That is your solar constant. Actually for solar constant, no, the value is 1.4 kilowatt per meter square. This is the approximated value. Okay, real value is something 1.38 or something, that is so I am giving you the approximate value. So 1.4 kilowatt per meter square, but that is not there in the options. We know that watt is joule per second. So again per meter square, here kilo, here 1.4. So your correct answer will be option 1, 1.4 kilojoule per second per meter square. So remembering 1.4 kilowatt per meter square is easy. But you know that watt is equal to joule per second with our SI units. So that's why I say that this question is also from SI units part only. Okay. Now you have to remember the constants value and you should know how to find out the SI unit. These two things if you do as per Karnataka TET 2024 question paper, you will get 2 marks easily. Okay. Because now science is new syllabus. Whatever is easy, you have to just grasp it, grab it, learn it, practice it. Okay. So I will give you list of this constants values also. See here. Starting with Planck's constant, because I am expecting Planck's constant this time. Because this is very important and because they are talking about new syllabus, Planck's constant comes in quantum mechanics. So that's why I am expecting Planck's constant this time. Symbol for Planck's constant is H. Value is 6.626 into 10 to the minus 34 joules second is the unit. Of course, we can expect gravitational constant also. G. 6.674 into 10 to the minus 11. Unit is Newton meter square per kg square. If you go into the derivations, then you will understand why this particular SI unit is there. Okay. Of course, universal gas constant. Now I am feeling like all these are important only. These are usually asked constants. Okay. So better you learn all of these. Not only one, but all of these are important. Okay. So for universal gas constant are 8.314 joule per mole Kelvin. Stefan Boltzmann constant. So related to Stefan Boltzmann, one question was asked in HSTR 2015. So this is also important. Okay. Sigma is the symbol. 5.67 into 10 to the minus 8 Weber per meter square Kelvin to the 4. Boltzmann constant. They can ask this from chemistry questions also. Okay. K. 1.38 10 to the minus 23 joule per Kelvin. Avogadro. This also they can ask in chemistry also. Okay. Na. 6.022 into 10 to the 23 per mole. Speed of light in vacuum. This though is very easy. I don't think they will ask this. Elementary charge they can ask. In chemistry also they can ask. In physics also they can ask. Elementary charge value is 1.6 into 10 to the minus 19 Coulomb. Permittivity of free space, permeability of free space also they can ask. I told you in SI units also they can ask. In values also they can ask. So permittivity of free space is epsilon naught. 8.854 into 10 to the minus 12 Coulomb square per Newton meter square. Permeability of free space is mu naught. 4.10 to the minus 7 Weber per ampere meter. Okay, so this is the best we could do to teach you SI units and the value of constants along with their SI units, as we have seen 2 questions in Karnataka TET 2024 question paper. Okay, so friends, I really hope that this class helps you, and we were trying to make as short as possible class, because many paid class aspirants also have requested for this class. So we don't want to waste your time now as exam is very near. So please watch these classes carefully and try to learn as much as possible. Feel free to ask your doubts in the comment section below this video, or in the Telegram group we have. You can join that group and get discussed there. And if you are a paid class aspirant, then you have your own Telegram group. Please feel free to discuss there and ask your doubts. Okay. Thank you. All the best. Bye.